cleanse the chamber! All right, killed the audio, or the music, I should say. And here we are. Huzzah! We are back, and we have everybody this time. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Even though you can't see Justin, he assures us that the Axe body spray that he put on has not damaged his good looks, and will be back next game. So while we are getting ready to kick things off, why don't we do a brief recap, since some of us haven't been here and or we've missed some games. And on top of that, we also need to do opening karma. So does somebody want to roll for that?
What do we roll?
I believe we were doing a D10 and multiplying it by 10.
I will roll. I volunteer.
All right.
And
I
I
rolled
got a 2.
All right. Good job, Brittany. Everybody gets 20 karma.
Mm.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay.
I was gonna say I rolled a 50 on a D10.
You should have spoken up.
Okay, so there we go. And let's get our book. So somebody want to do a recap as to where we last left off?
I'll be honest, I don't remember all the details. We're coming together as a team. People are developing new powers. And we were thinking about going out and doing a patrol or something in the same vein of helping out the common folk. The people who do not have some type of supernatural or genetically inherited gift.
Well, without getting super specific, that's actually a pretty good high-level overview. That is largely what you guys have been doing up to this point. There was some discussion as to how to do that. You guys hit up Sledgehammer in the last game at the amusement park and tried to get the scoop on what's been going on down here in town, specifically in Fairview.
You said 20 total, right?
20 total.
Is
All
it
right.
Fairside or Fairview?
You know what? Even though I made it and wrote it down, I constantly get it mixed up.
Okay. If you're not going to be picky, I might not be picky either.
No, let me get it pulled up real fast.
Is this going to be the Coldman argument from the Birdcage?
I don't know. It's Fairside. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to be that guy.
No, you can be that guy. You can be my guy. I'm not your guy, buddy.
I'm not your buddy,
friend.
pal.
I have a tendency to be that guy that reminds the teacher that we had a pop quiz when nobody else wanted to take it. So
You were everybody's friend. Yeah.
What she's secretly saying is she had many of her lunches taken.
So according to my notes, we in the last session we had some discussion about the Justice Legion.
Yes.
And how they seem to be set up by the media, and we would like to garner that kind of public image. But in order to do that, we need to figure out, fix our team so that we can generate good publicity instead of bad. So we want to start patrolling, We talked to Sledgehammer about his patrolling habits, I guess, so that we don't like step on any toes. A lot of the crime in Fairside is caused by deviants. Like most of it is by deviants. Deviant crime there is 3 times higher than the rest of the city and 1.5 times higher than the national average. So it's a pretty rough place.
Deviants, do they have powers?
Deviants are basically mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can have powers.
Yeah.
As opposed to super powered beings, which are like non-mutant superheroes.
Yeah, a general catch-all for anything with powers.
We discussed that, or he told us that a fellow named Blackout is behind a lot of the crime. He's militarizing a lot of the deviants. He has been releasing a new chemical on the street called Dark, which is a superroid. It's causing fatalities as well as
People getting swole.
yeah. And I have laundromat. I was like, why did I say laundromat? There's a particular laundromat that tends to have a lot of a particular high amount of crime that we were going to try and kind of stake out, I guess. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, he apparently works out of a condo complex in Fairside, or at least that's where his operation's based.
I thought you weren't here last game.
Mark was, yes.
Oh, Mark was?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I don't know who was not here last game. I did not note it. Oh, it was the game before.
Derek was here and Derek froze. So he froze mid-wave.
Okay.
You did.
Anyway, that's
At least it's a great still shot.
Yeah.
Oh, we're catching back up to him.
Everybody else's speed broken and choppy.
Yes, you were robotic there for a bit.
Yeah, like everybody went like choppy. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully this won't last.
So actually, it was a great recap. That is kind of where we're at right now. You have, we'll say it's been a couple days catching up at this point. You have gone about your separate ways again, which for some that just means going back to the vein. Others have a day job that they're trying to maintain.
So have we met Justin's character?
Mm-hmm. Have
Are we
you met
related?
this character?
Are we related?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's related.
One big happy family.
Yeah, don't you remember Justin's character's got the gills?
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Never mind. It's been so long.
And was Derek there for the training room sequence?
Yes.
Okay. Where you guys succeeded finally? And Brittany is trying to break things.
That's just my chair.
Oh, which one? Is it the one that we picked up at Goodwill, or is that your old gaming chair?
No, it's my regular one. The one I got at Goodwill is my work chair in my office.
Oh, fancy. So you have more than one chair.
I have more chairs than I need.
Okay.
Some of them are not comfortable.
Gotcha. Oh, we didn't decide on what Ixion's superhero name was going to be.
Xenofreeze.
What's that?
Xenofreeze.
You're going to go with Xenofreeze? Okay. That'll work. I'll get that updated later
What
on.
was the name of our group?
I think you guys, it was never really officially floated, but I think you guys kind of settled on Legacy. Because it kind of fit with the whole theme of what you guys were
Yeah.
going with.
Yeah, I like that.
Very good name.
We'll let everyone else decide what legacy that is.
You're going to leave it open-ended.
No one has to know who that man is.
This is true. You don't have to. You do not have to answer those questions when called to 60 minutes.
That way we can claim, what's the term?
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, that.
When you can tell someone's worked in corporate for way too long, plausible deniability.
Or government.
Oh man, I just remembered this is the game where I have to play a smart person.
Wow.
Okay.
Dang.
As they said in Tropic Thunder, wow, the insecurity in this room is amazing. All right, so Dale, we're picking up with you.
Oh, okay.
It's been a couple of days. Your staff is in the process now. I mean, it's still going to be ongoing for probably 2 weeks, easy, but they're starting to make the move.
Okay.
They are getting like contracts put together to find out who is going to make the move, who do they have to, lay off, and looking at the job market there to see who they can hire to replace. So there's the logistics behind that, is all starting to go through. Thankfully, since you don't have like a huge office, it's more, you're in that realm where it's small business, but you're doing big bucks.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, where branching off was probably inevitable anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have a whole lot of staff you have to worry about. So probably within about the next 2 weeks, this should all be finalized for you. But they've got the space set up, and they're starting. They sent somebody out to do a walkthrough to, get the size and staffing coordinated, for the location and who's going to go where as best as possible. So it's in its bare bone stages, but they're in the process of doing that right now.
Okay. Excellent.
Are you remaining at a hotel or are you staying in the vein?
I'm just trying to stay in the vein because it's not
Okay.
like I need to eat or drink,
Right.
barely sleep, so I'm good.
Sure. Okay. So
We could be
Ixion.
roomies.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, Ixion, you were kind of in the same boat. Although you don't really have a job, so you're just kind of staying at the vein for lack of a better thing to do.
I figured I'd be trying to set up some sort of lab there.
Right, which that actually you were doing that when last we left off because you weren't there for that particular game. So at this point, you've a list of equipment it hasn't been ordered because the money really isn't there for it yet. But you have a list of equipment that would help trick the place out. You have like a wish list going together of trying to get what you're hopefully will make this more of a top light lab that you can do the things that you were wanting to do.
Probably got a couple little minor things, but nothing crazy, right?
I don't think you have the income for it yet. Nobody has dedicated any additional or allocated, I should say, any resources to the vein. So nothing as of yet, just a wish list.
So I have EX20 resources.
That was in that's not in cash.
I know. It's in ship.
Yeah. Right.
Just list that thing on eBay, Craigslist.
Pick it up at address area 51.
Yeah, I was going to say neither of which exist right now.
Oh dang.
Remember the
Classifieds.
yeah, the internet right now is at 94. You are in the groundswell of AOL and all of the
Yeah.
small mom and pop dial-up shops.
Yeah,
We're-
it's
that's
it's
right,
still
we're-
it's a
we're-
fad.
We're 1994, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, what was my internet in 1994?
If anything at all.
Nope,
Oh, that is challenging.
I would not have an email address for 3 more years.
Like,
Dang.
Mom, the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My family did have internet in '94.
Nice.
We were one of those early people on AOL, but we were BBS people back then. So
Oh,
Oh.
wow. There you go.
And so, Justin, what are you doing at this point? Are you also at the vein, or have you tried to procure a place elsewhere?
he hasn't tried to get a place elsewhere. He let his, for lack of better phrasing, an agent, someone who does all the like negotiation for his contracts to go out and do his work.
Mm-hmm.
Let him know that he is preoccupied right now in another location.
Okay, and not accepting contracts or something like that right now.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's been staying a lot at the vein, and he's still been practicing. And if whenever he gets a chance to, he has someone press the button over and over while he works on developing more.
Okay, alrighty.
Of all the character traits that he takes from me, because I always have to have something of myself, it's that goal-driven part.
Gotcha.
He is very goal-driven, and right now he wants to finish developing that power, so next time he turns around and he's in combat, he can just whip it out and
use
shock
it on
someone.
the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those of you who are at the vein, that would be Dale and Derek then, on pretty much on the regular, almost like clockwork. Justin's character, the Angler, has been going in to the training room sequence and has been really just pushing himself hard, almost to unsafe limits. To the point where he's taking a bit of a beating each time he's coming out, because he's really trying to work on. He does seem that like he's distracted by something, which has already
Accurate.
made itself evident a couple of times by some slagging that's on the wall of the the hideout, or the I should say the HQ. But yeah, so he I mean, he's probably been social afterwards, but first thing in the morning he's pushing himself hard. So that's kind of how the tone has been set in the vein as of this point.
And that's before he eats breakfast.
Okay, that'll work.
Sorry,
So at this
old
point,
habit for him.
he is currently inside while you guys are out, just waking up or beginning your day or whatnot. He's already out there and doing his thing.
Would it be possible, because I was looking at trying to do my power stunt where I could, like, what's the word I said?
I don't know.
Like imitate, like, or encapsulate like my uniform.
Oh, trying to
where
do
I
that
can-
again.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Could I possibly try a couple times and maybe see if I got some successes, or maybe?
I'll allow for 2.
Okay.
Sure.
Can I get the 2 as well?
One at a time though, so I can track it.
85.
All right, so 85, and what is the power you're doing this under, Derek?
Is that not my phasing ability?
I believe
I
it
believe
was.
so. Huh?
I said I believe so.
Because it's not my cold generation shaping or
Yeah.
missile creation. So, and that's an RM-26.
Okay, so your phasing's armed. Okay, so remarkable. And you said 85?
Yes.
Okay, So that was not enough. You are trying and trying. And the one thing you are getting used to is basically being your own Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist and folding yourself in half while your clothes are still on.
Right. Torsionist.
Yeah, so
Not like I wasn't before. Like, hey, watch this.
right, yeah, it's a little frustrating. You're not getting anywhere with it like you had
fold
hoped.
yourself up in a box. I'm like, what's up now? 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna roll one more time.
Okay.
Come on. Ooh. What is 87. Does that do anything?
No, still not enough, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, so Justin.
I got a 51 on the first one.
Okay. 51, and this was your fire. Oh no,
It was heat emission,
heat emission. There we go. I knew it was hot something. Hold on.
which is a 46.
Okay, so 46. You got a 50 what?
51, which I
So
think
hot.
is still only green, if I'm correct.
Yes, that is only green. So you're at this point. Go ahead and roll again, but you are still experiencing some difficulty mastering that change to generate the plasma.
And now it's time for my one good roll for the night, a 99.
Okay,
You say that's a success?
so
Nice.
yeah, so in your anger, you finally manage to project more plasma. So you're getting there. You know, you're batting 500 at this point. Definitely better than when you first started, but it is nowhere near the competency levels that you are hoping for, given the problems that you guys know you're going to be facing.
Yes, sir.
So he is diligently working. Dale, what are you doing at this point, outside of getting the daily report from your business?
Yeah, let's see here. Beyond that, I would probably be just working on the computer. I know that from last time we were mentioning that it was already pretty high tech, but it could still use some upgrades. So I'm
Mhm.
seeing what I can do to just make that like maybe a little user friendly, make using it easier or what have you, and to see
Okay.
if what it would take to have it where like it could accept just voice commands rather than us having to like type stuff in all the time.
Ooh, okay. That is possible. And with your advanced brain, definitely not out of the scope of doing.
Right.
That is pretty beyond the tech scope of 94.
Hmm.
But for you, not that difficult. So it's one of those like, oh, okay, well that's based off like my writing, and I do this already for my command. So you're gonna have to get a yellow result in order to pull it off, but you definitely can try. Right now, you have to write the software, so whatever microphone you set it up to can recognize and translate the English to computer language.
Gotcha. Okay.
Binary.
Go ahead and roll in the chat. Slash in.
Yeah, so keep in mind, I can't see it if you roll it in the chat, but just let me know what you get,
Yeah.
which is perfectly fine.
1 billion.
Not even close. So
Damn
only a
it.
16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
So you start scrambling through the code, and like your first dry run, when you give it a glance over, you're like, oh no, it's way off. It's way off.
Mhm.
Like you have to back up and look at some of the formulas, and you're like, my God, this isn't even like 8-bit, at this point. Just oof. And for you, that's actually a true insult, because it's like, because you're, a very high-tech, sophisticated piece of machinery, like for you to generate something that doesn't even measure up to World of or Wizard of War, the old coin-op game back from the mid 80s. When it would sound off, it sounds like I am the Wizard of War. You didn't even get that. So it's like, oh God.
Yikes.
So maybe your
Okay.
mind was just like somewhere else, or maybe you just had, too much, too much of it. You know what? Give me another roll, because you also asked about basically ergonomics for the keyboard,
Right.
make it user friendly. So give that a try. 'Cause that's a little bit more mechanical.
Oh my god. 4 on that one.
Oh, okay. So thankfully, you're not actually experimenting on the computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things like this is you're in the conception phase. You're like looking at it and you had an initial drawing. You're like, okay, here's what a keyboard looks like. How can I make it better? And you just don't go anywhere. And you're like, I got nothing. You
Yeah.
know, it's just one of the like, screw it.
I need more data.
Yeah.
All right, not bad.
I see your rolls pop up on my other screen. I
Yeah.
saw it.
At least it's not in combat.
Can you throw away the bot and get a new one?
I already stopped using my dice. You know, I got no other options here. You know.
Buy more dice.
Buy a dice jail.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so while everybody is doing that currently in the vein, it is your day off, Lightbringer. So this is the first day in about a week you haven't actually had to go like immediately to the vein, or actually get called in to fill in at the Quickie Mart.
So I have 2 action items that are sort of related. So
Okay.
one, I need some sort of transportation.
True.
And 2, I want to start acquiring some lab equipment. So so we can start bolstering our capacity at the vein,
Mm-hmm.
both scientific and technological. So I'm going to start putting out some feelers on places that I could get some, either like from my contacts at the company that I was thrown out of, or from the university, or just from like you had mentioned once that some of my more industrious neighbors may have some kind of chemistry equipment that we could pilfer.
They may be chemistry inclined. This is true. It isn't something you exactly walk down the door and just knock and ask, "Oh, hey, do you have a beaker I can borrow?" with
Yeah.
with a little bit of sugar.
Oh, is that what they're calling it these
Yeah,
days?
exactly. Yeah, it's white and powdery. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start putting out some feelers to try and acquire some of that sort of stuff.
Okay, so you have a couple of different options. So if you attempted to search the building, you could probably try and get away with that with some manual rolls and a little bit of investigating and kind of poking around where your nose probably doesn't belong.
I can blend into my surroundings.
This is true. There's also Shadestone Incorporated, which is what you were referring to. Given the scandal that happened when you were quietly let go, you may have somebody there that you could possibly call. You don't have any contacts, as I recall, like directly on your character sheet.
No.
But that doesn't mean you couldn't try to make one with the expenditure of karma, if you were so inclined.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, so somebody who was still on the loyal side, or somebody who's kind of close, go ahead and expend 100 karma, and you have yourself a contact point that you can use.
Where do I put that on my sheet?
There's a separate spot for contacts, so you would actually just when the contact is developed, you'll actually put it there. Did I not put that on the character? I did not put that on the character sheet. Son of a gun. Just put for now. Just put it one in the talents column, like down towards the bottom.
Okay.
Can't believe I forgot that.
Rude.
Yeah, I know. Like absolutely rude. So the person that you know, his name is Mason. He didn't work directly in your department. It was one of those lunch contacts that whenever you took a break, he usually had a break around the same time, so you guys wound up in the same break room frequently.
Okay.
So let me take a look at your background. I think we talked about where you went in the company. Yes, you were in applied sciences. In sciences, that's what I thought. Okay. He, however, was in a research end, primarily dealing around electronics.
Okay.
So if you want to go and give him a call, you'll have to go to a payphone to do so.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll find a payphone. Maybe call him from work or I was gonna say work, but I mean, I guess I don't have to go to work because
Yeah,
I'm not there.
you would know. She would probably try to ask you to come in if you went to work. You are the 5-star employee there. And
Okay.
she loves you to death and is willing to throw whatever hours you want to take. Like she will gladly give you a 40-hour work week. You know, if that's, but you understand that you've got other things to do, and there's no way you could do that if you were fully vested in, trying to make sure the quickie mart was going.
I mean, priorities.
Right.
How else are you
Exploring
gonna become a
machine.
superhero?
Saving the world. That's a tough call.
It is.
Okay, so I'll find a payphone and I'll call him and ask him to meet. I would probably be calling him at the company, wouldn't I?
Probably yes.
Okay. So I'll call him and see if he wants to get lunch today.
Okay, so you call and you hear the phone connecting over, and there's a chime, and picks up, and he says, "This is Mason Booth's desk."
Hey Mason, this is Carmen. Do you remember me?
Carmen? Yeah, of course I remember you. Shoot, I didn't even know you had my number. Hi, what's going on?
Hey, I was wondering if you would mind meeting me for lunch. I want to ask you something about well, I mean it's not that big a deal. I just, it's been a while since I've seen you and wanted to just catch up.
Uh, sure. I mean, you know where the place is at. You obviously can't come in. I can meet you at Rosie's. It's the diner that's across the street. It's
Yeah,
still
that
open.
would be great.
Okay. I'm having my lunch in like an hour. Is that going to be sufficient?
Sure.
Okay. I'll see you then.
Okay. So, um I guess I don't have much to do in the interim. So,
Except figure out how to get there.
well, I mean, I could take the bus.
True.
Yeah, as far as transportation, um something motorized would be great. but also I can't just be like driving a motorcycle into the mountain. That's a little obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking maybe something that could be quiet that I could disguise. I don't know if I could figure out how to make a motorcycle quieter.
Well, you've got a big brain.
All right, well, it's a start. I'll see if I can grab a motorcycle from somewhere.
Okay. So are you going to do that while you're on your way there, like trying to go someplace to haggle, or is that like on the back burner?
Yeah, back.
Okay. That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it takes you a little longer than anticipated. You're about like 3 minutes late, eventually get in there because the bus. But you managed to get there. And he's there in business casual and got his, tie on, black hair kind of slicked back. He's just nursing a coffee at this point.
So I'll
And Rosie's is kind of like a 50s style diner, sort of, to make it stand out in the whole like high tech area that's around here. They did it to make it stand out a little bit, to make it, catchy.
okay. So I'll slide into the booth and order whatever's cheapest on the menu. Probably like a sandwich of some sort.
Saltines.
Maybe a little more substantive than
Yeah.
that. I do make minimum wage now.
You do. You absolutely make minimum. So
Sandwich.
you could probably get away with getting an appetizer or something
All right.
from here.
We'll do that. And a water.
And a water. All right. So he stands up, when you get there, and sits down when you come in. He's like, so I absolutely was not expecting to hear from you. How are you doing since the thing?
I'm bouncing back all right. Found some interesting work. How are you? How are things? What have they been telling people?
Oh, there it was FMLA related. So it's one of those, like, you went out on a disability sort of thing and quietly retired. But because they filed it under like FMLA, they can't really go into detail about it. So it saves them some, I guess, headache. I mean,
Yeah, I
it is what it
suppose
is.
that's
You're not like in with that blackout guy, are you?
no.
Okay. I mean, I don't mean to assume. It's just that's kind of what's been hitting the news lately, is that I guess he's kind of got his thing going on that side of. Wait a minute, you're not on that side of town too, are you?
I don't want to talk about that. Okay, so
Okay. Sorry.
so long story short, I've got this gig, but I want to do some work on the side, and I need some equipment to do that. And I wondered,
Okay.
I don't have access to, all of the contractors that we got our equipment from, but I wondered if there's some way that you could maybe hook me up some good deals on some of the good quality, or I could go with medium quality too. Just some stuff to start building my own, workshop.
Oh, That's going to be tough. I'm not really in that particular area. Finding the vendors isn't going to be an issue. Um, but they only sell to people that they have contracts with.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you have a way, like if you have your own business or something. I'm sure maybe you could figure out a deal there.
Yeah, I think I could probably work that out. Could you give me some contact info?
Yeah, of course. I can. That shouldn't be an issue. I'm just finding out like who we do business with for some of the equipment. That's just a matter of looking at the side of some of the boxes, I guess.
Be a pretty good place to start.
You know, who might be able to help. Um, there's a company. I don't know if it's a startup or if it's like brand new or maybe they've been it's like been around for a while, and you know they say they've been established for a long time, but their branding hasn't really been popular or didn't get popular until like the last couple of years or something. Um, when I can find the name of that company, I'll let you know. They seem to be into some sort of like progressive technology. I don't seem to be. It's hard to pin them down because they seem to be pretty exclusive, but there's like a lot of talk around the office. I think some of the up and ups are a little worried. They from what we understand, they recently moved into town. You know,
Worried
a lot of the other tech companies have.
like competitor worried or like,
Yes.
oh, that's very interesting.
The one thing, and he says it kind of a lower tone, is that the one reason why it's kind of going around is because they work with like type of people. So I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's a marketing strategy or something, but it seems to be like how they're kind of undercutting their competition, working with those that you know, other people
Other
won't.
with
Yeah.
you don't remember what they're called?
Not, I don't. I just heard about them, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
That may be your best bet, but otherwise, I'm happy to go get that vendor information and let you know. Do you have I mean, you called me, but I didn't get the number from my caller ID. Do you have a phone number I can call you back at?
Um, I do actually have a phone number. I'll give him my phone number.
Okay.
I mean, I have an answering machine. I must have a phone.
Yes. You have a phone line and you have an answering machine.
Yeah.
You do
Okay.
not necessarily have a phone,
Oh,
which you can fix that now that you actually have a bit of a steady income.
There's always the Garfield phone. That was very popular in the 90s. Or the
Yeah.
football.
Or the Snoopy phone. That was more 80s, though, I think.
You
Yeah.
get
Clear
yourself
plastic.
you get yourself a pager and just call people back on a payphone.
Yeah.
You were pimping then.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Rolling on BL80s.
nice. All right. Yeah.
Why did I get sent 8008135?
It's just a bunch of pound symbols.
So he's like, is there anything else I can do? I mean I feel kind of bad, not after everything had happened. Not everybody's like that, right? That wasn't that isn't how everybody feels.
Just really glad to hear that.
Okay.
Thanks.
No, no problem. I mean, I know it's a thing. I guess it's going around that's got people, afraid. But Anyways, probably shouldn't talk about it much in public. Anyways, who knows who's listening?
Yeah. So, how's everything else?
Fine. I mean, there's obviously a lot I can't talk about, which I mean, I know you understand. But I mean, our department is pretty slammed. I mean, we have a lot going on. Um, I've been sending a lot of our secondary work to actually your old department. So I'm assuming that's probably a good thing. Maybe they're they've got applications for it of some kind.
Well,
They usually don't tell us much until we happen to stumble onto it.
yeah, of course. It's good they're keeping you busy. It's always nice to feel necessary and appreciated.
Yeah. So and so you ended up getting like mozzarella sticks, and so he did, and not only that, this is your second glass of water. So you're rolling big today. But he
Better
goes
know
he goes ahead and pays for it. He's like, look, it's not a big deal. As soon as I can find out more, believe me, I'll let you know.
Thanks, Mason. It's good to talk to you, catch up.
Yeah, likewise. And if you wind up with one of those, big breakout things, like you're always talking about, don't get your guy Mason here.
All right. I'll keep you in mind.
All right. Just like, don't go like lottery scratching and whatnot. I don't want to, gamble it away.
Oh, that's ludicrous.
Yeah. All right. So I've got to get back to work. I will message you as soon as I get this, the information and find that out.
Great. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Do you have an email address? It would probably be faster if you did. I'm sorry. You probably don't, given the circumstances. I'm used to. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And so he heads out. So those of you who are in the vein, at this point, Angler has just gotten done, dripping sweat at this point, nursing some welts. He got it up to second stage, level 2, and one of the robot drones just pinned him up against the wall and pummeled the snot out of him. Because you guys haven't gotten to level 2 yet, so it's like, oh crap, and so called it quits at that one. Hey, Davy Jones, what's going on, man? Davy Jones back in the chat.
Nice.
So as he comes walking out, the lights dim just a bit in the vein, and the red klaxons start shining, setting off an alert.
Head over to the main computer, see what's going on.
Okay. And at this point, Meredith is stepping in as well, so you can hear the click-clacking of her heels as she's scooting rather fast across the metallic floor. And as the screen pulls it up and comes online, you see downtown Strongford at this point is currently under siege, and it's pulling up some separate news feeds at this point, like what's going on, and it's points of action, or points of reference, I should say. Mincing my words left, right, and center. And so the obviously it's all it's all in real time, so it's like it's picking up the news feeds, and they're already like talking about what's happening. You can see that there's a car on fire in the background, and some police are in the process of dealing with something. Like you've got a paramedic off the side tending to somebody. and the one of the things that it picks up on rather quickly, and one of the nice things about the built-in computer that's tied to these is it actually listens for specific words or names, and it will like just hold it up to the side, so that way you don't have to sit there and listen and keep trying to replay it or whatnot. So like if it hears like the name of a known villain or something, it'll pull the name up and just set it off to the side so you guys know, okay, well, this is who they're talking about or whatnot. And like within a moment or two of the news feed coming across, you end up seeing it. It captures the name of somebody by the name of Blood Goblin.
That's a horrendous name. Does it pull up the
Blood?
details about him?
Yes. So with that, you end up seeing a woman who has kind of a like a corset look onto her. Mostly human face. It is altered a bit that it does look goblin-ish, fey-ish in a way. A sharp hood that kind of comes down and comes over to the side. She flies. She has the motif of it is kind of black and reds and whatnot. She seems to be wielding fire-based powers, and she is so clearly Davy Jones there likes the name of Blood Goblin. And in fact, now that I think about it, I'm almost 100% positive I've got a picture of her. So let me double check real quick. That will probably help. Do I do? Not here. Okay, so go over here and positive I took a screen capture, please. There we go. That's not her. Is that her? No, that's not her.
No, that's not her. That's not her at all. Sorry, the way you sounded that sounded just like you'd say it to a dog.
Yeah. Whatever works. Did I not take a screen capture? I did not, son of a bitch. Okay. But yeah, so I'll get a picture of it later, of the character. But basically, she kind of has like some tattooing. It looks like that goes down her shoulders and comes down off her arms as well. And she's flying around. She's doing battle right now with the regular police. The news media has already commented that Hoplite is on the way. She is right now almost dead center downtown in Strongford. They're not sure what exactly caused it, but the collateral damage in the area is becoming severe. So they are, putting out a call to local authorities, and hopefully somebody's going to put a stop to it as quickly as possible. And Meredith looks at the at the screen, and she says, "Gentlemen, you wanted your in. Your in is apparently not going to wait until you're ready."
Understood.
Where is Lightbringer?
Unknown.
Oh no, she wasn't here this morning. He dries himself off real quick with the towel. And he's gonna get the suit on all the way and masked up.
All right. Well, she just looks around. She says, "Well, then we don't have time to wait. I need you ready in 2 and 2. Get going."
Right. I try to use the communicator Rolex and
Okay.
see if I can bring up Lightbringer.
Okay.
Lightbringer, do you read?
So this is the first time you've actually had this happen. So you hear a little chime in your ear, Lightbringer. Ding, ding. Actually kind of throws you off first, like.
It's happened. You're finally gone crazy.
I knew it.
I'm gonna duck into an alleyway.
Okay.
That quiet. and respond.
You can actually do that since you're not far away from downtown. You can hear the explosions at this point. But the alleyways here are much nicer than where you're from. So you don't feel bad about ducking into the alleyway to take this call.
There's no crackheads here,
There are no crackheads down this alleyway.
or like rats the size of Manhattan.
No, Manahata.
It just means
Uh,
you actually legitimately
What's
need
this?
a phone booth.
That could be fun.
So your watch is chiming.
I'm gonna. I'll respond. Yes. What's going on?
This is Mark. We have received word that a being known as Blood Goblin is causing chaos and damage in downtown Strongford. We're about to suit up and head there. What's your current location?
That actually makes sense why I'm hearing explosions. I'm not too far from there myself. Can you bring would I be wearing my uniform under my clothes, or would I have
No.
there? Okay,
No.
could you bring my uniform?
We will. When
And
you approach the vehicle, will you be able to disguise yourself or make yourself invisible?
Yes.
Excellent. Would not want to destroy your secret identity.
Thank you.
If you're able to make your way there and obtain reconnaissance while not getting involved yet, that would be appreciative. We're about to take off.
All right, I'll see you soon.
And then
Good
I
idea.
get suited
Hyperion.
up.
Okay. Everybody's getting suited up. Your pilot is already in the cockpit at this point, doing the final systems check on the craft to get you guys out of here. Lightbringer. So it is a couple blocks over. You're going to have to hoof it if you're going to go check this out.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head over. I'll disguise myself as a bystander for
Okay.
now. I don't need
Just
to look
somebody random.
invisible. Yeah.
Okay.
And go take a look. See if I can get the lay.
Okay. So you were actually in where you met him at. You're actually in Chatham, the Chatham district, the commercial center, which is about as downtown as you can get. The fight is actually taking place just on the edge of Richview, which is the financial district. So as you are hot-footing it over there, it's hard with all the commotion. It's hard to make out anything that's being said, but she seems to be very focused on this one particular corner where it's at, which is literally a straight shot from where you're at. She is maybe 20 feet ish up in the air, maybe a little bit more, just above what power lines, poles, city poles and whatnot might normally be. Not that there are power lines there, but at about that height. There are police that are actively firing on her, and they are they're doing nothing. So they're just trying to contain right now as she is ravaging the front of this particular building.
Can I tell what building it is? Like, is there any significance to the building?
Give me an intuition check. You'll only need a green result, thankfully, because there are pretty big advertisements and names on the side of the buildings.
And on the way to the airplane, he grabs two pieces of bread and uses his heat powers to toast them. That way he has something in his stomach going into this fight.
That'll do.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, ma'am.
No,
That's
fine.
a special power stunt? No.
Yeah. Toasting.
Okay, well, I rolled 19 on an incredible, so that's a no.
Right. So you come out from the street where you're at. An explosion of plasma hits the building above you. So just as you were attempting to look around, like you have to skitter out of the way to avoid like some falling particles of cement and glass that are falling down around the ground. So you didn't get a good look at it because you're hustling for cover at this point. You managed to duck down beside one of those old school post office or the mailbox drops that they have occasionally downtown. So you're like huddled up like by that and by a car. So you have some reasonable level of protection from where you're at. And you can hear her screaming something, obscenities of some kind, but because of the firing and the commotion, it's hard to say, but she's angry about something as near as you can tell. And
Can I use telepathy to try and understand what she's doing?
Ooh, try to get in her mind. You absolutely can try. What is your psyche?
It is remarkable, and I rolled 1.
All right.
Migraine.
I rolled 1.
At least it's not paradox backlash.
Yeah.
That would suck.
You have an aneurysm. You're dead.
Make a new character.
I know exactly. Yeah, your own powers just turn on. You're like, "Look."
You're like,
I may change my dice.
May. All right.
I've got 3 sets in front of me.
So, needless to say, you focus. You see her. You're like, okay, that's a great idea. You're thinking about it. You're trying to get in, and like right as that happens, a stray piece of rubble clocks you right in the head.
Okay.
Thankfully, it was golf ball size, so it smarts. You took about 5 points of damage, and it was enough to kind of stun you a little bit. And give me another psyche check.
$92.
Okay, so
Ooh.
you do not lose your disguise. You've clearly had some practice with distractions and pain and trying to keep up some level of disguise or keeping yourself hidden. So that wasn't a big deal. The pain is what smarted.
Okay.
All right, so those of you who are taking off and you are in the jet, taking off from the vein, you are in the air and flying, and you hear Meredith on the console at this point. She says, all right, listen up. So we don't have a lot on Blood Goblin, but what files we do indicate that she is very pro-deviant. We also believe that she doesn't condone terrorism. Keep that in mind when getting into the location. There may be more about this that we don't fully understand.
So she's accomplishing something that she herself normally speaks out against.
Correct.
Does she have any known accomplices?
I'm not seeing anything listed on Electrum's files. So that tells me she's either a loner, or there may be something that the others, like tyrants, have done to rub her the wrong way.
or
If we
mind control.
can, try and find that out.
Do we know her nationality?
We don't.
Understood.
Meredith, I
And-
suggest we try to get ourselves some power restraining collars. We're going to need them in the future.
Well, we're running off of limited resources and technology, so if the big brains in the team can pull that off, you're welcome to try.
It will be one of my primary technology goals.
1 second, guys.
Sure. So the ship is coming into I mean, because you're in the air, you can actually see some of the smoke, wafting up into the sky. So getting there is not a problem. So, and you see that there are news helicopters that are out on the perimeter, obviously focusing on this. So the ship takes kind of a wide arc to avoid them, from causing any sort of problem. And he ends up bringing you in about a block away, so roughly a mile, so that way it's not you're not directly under fire, on the top of a Chase Bank. And before you guys exit, Meredith says, keep in mind, we want to keep property damage to a minimum, which means you need to try and subdue her without any additional damage.
Out of character. It would have been nice to destroy the safe, though, for landing on the bank. Don't know how that bundle of money got in my pocket.
Whoopsie!
Ixion's now rolling in dough. All right.
So he doesn't land, obviously, but the bay doors to it open up, and you guys, all three, can hop off.
Gotcha.
And Meredith says, until you have designated otherwise, Hyperion, your team lead on this. Call the shots.
Understood. Hyperion out. I then try to bring up Lightbringer again. Lightbringer, do you read?
I read. I saw the ship, right?
Yeah. You saw it
head-
briefly as it passed over, so you know roughly what direction they're in.
I'm headed your way.
You may want to meet us halfway. We'll be making that there on foot. The goal will be to subdue her as rapidly as possible and minimize collateral damage. Have you been able to maintain your disguise?
Yes, she is focused on a particular building. It seems personal, but I can't tell what the building is.
Understood. We are approximately 1 mile from the location. We'll be making it there as rapidly as possible. I will bring your outfit.
Thank you.
Hyperion out.
And so just as you guys have that conversation, Brittany, you can see that the front of the building comes down where she had been focusing her fire and whatnot. The security doors that had dropped are sufficiently slagged, there's virtually nothing of them left, and she flies directly in.
Now can I tell what building it was?
No. There's a lot of smoke and damage, but you can take another look.
Are there people still around that are running away and
No,
stuff?
thankfully the cops have kind of cornered that off, so there's nobody else, as far as you can tell, on the street cover is in the area. There may be people on the inside, but nobody on the outside.
I'm thinking if there's anybody nearby that I could ask what that building is.
You could talk to one of the cops.
All right, I mean, I might as well. I'm in disguise.
Or do
Or-
you really need to talk to him?
No. Read his mind? Again? I mean, I could try it. What's the worst that could happen?
Right. Migraine.
You have to listen to me take phone calls all day.
9!
It's 9 times better than before.
Wow. So not only was that a no on the chart, it was a no in German.
9!
A different set of dice.
So you're flustered at this point with everything that's going on, which is kind of fitting. You really haven't done this before, so you're still a little worried about remaining under cover and gunfire and everything that's going on. So you're just not able to focus to get what it is you're wanting to do. So if you want to just approach, you can.
Yeah, I'll do that. Do this the old-fashioned way.
Okay. So you kind of, I don't want to say run, but briskly jog up to the officer who's standing there, who's behind, um, uh, kind of positioned behind a light post to give himself a little bit of cover. One of the police cars is actually in the street and ablaze at this point because it took damage.
So I'll just go up and like hold my head where I got hit or whatever.
Okay.
And I'll be like, what is going on? What is that building?
Ma'am, you've got to get out of here. This area is not safe.
I know.
And so he just turns and he points, ma'am, you have got to get out of here. We cannot, we can't protect you against her if she comes back out.
Who is that?
That's Blood Goblin.
What is she doing?
He's like, we don't know, ma'am. You have got to go.
All right, I'll go ahead and leave.
Okay. So are
Turn
you
around.
directly running away, or are you trying to like go a distance and then hide, or?
Well, I still need my uniform, so I'm gonna still go towards.
So you're leaving the way he pointed, but more roundabout, so you can go the other direction. Okay, that's fine. So you go down the street a little ways, then you end up like hanging a left instead of continuing to go back down the street where you came.
Right.
He is clearly more preoccupied with the situation than watching you at this point. Those of you who are on the rooftop, nobody can fly, so you're
I
going.
can fly.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I can creep down the mountain. I can cling to the side of the building.
You could. So
Okay.
Angler, do you want to grab the other members of your team and take them across?
I tell them to hold on to me because I can't lift them.
Right.
I'm a wuss when it comes to strength.
Well, what is your strength?
Strength is only a good 8.
Okay. Keep in mind you have water freedom.
Yeah, but I'm not in water.
Right. And when you're not in water, your strength is 2 columns up.
Is it?
Yes. Because you take a hit to your agility. Because you're used to the resistance of water.
Hey.
So if you have a 10 strength, you have a 30 strength out of water. So you can roughly bench press a ton.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't read that one all the way through. My bad.
No, you clearly did not. Just keep in mind that you are a little awkward and you're still trying to figure that out when you're, not in water because you're used to that resistance. So your agility is going to take a hit.
So I say, Angler, will you be able to fly us both there?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Character, what's your character's weight? Dale?
My character's weight. Yeah, I'm a heavy boy. About 314 pounds.
You're going to be stressed. We're not hitting a ton, but we're about a third of a ton. We're looking at about 650, 700 pounds.
Yeah, basically, Davy Jones. He has powers related to underwater, and some that aren't.
Even though we don't eat, we weigh as if we haven't missed a meal.
Yeah.
But picking them up is not going to be much of a problem. And so you get them and start to fly over. What is your flight speed?
My flights is remarkable 26.
Ooh, not bad at all. Okay. Oh, rocket. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first for you guys, anyways. Concussive force wraps around all of you, and he literally blasts off like a rocket, like up into the air.
Nice.
Brittany, you hear this? Rocketing is not quiet.
They've heard it before.
Yes, and so with her not in the open, you are able to fly right up front to the building or wherever it is you're wanting to go.
Where we were planning on meeting her halfway there.
Okay, so then you're not going to go directly there. You're going to presumably fly down from the building and an alleyway nearby. Is that
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so you blast off. Looks dramatic for a second. Everyone's like, "Oh, they're here!" And then where the hell did they go? And you duck down into an alleyway. Lightbringer. Well, I shouldn't say Lightbringer. You see some random stranger. Joe, like with a little bit of a cut on her forehead, like running down the previously safe and clean alleyway.
All
Still
right.
no crackheads.
But still no crackheads.
I'm gonna begin by scanning the person's mind because I have telepathy as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll your psyche.
Maybe he'll be better than I was.
Brittany,
65.
Brittany, go ahead and roll your psyche.
79.
Oh, yikes! Okay,
I could have had that 5 minutes ago.
so you try to scan this person's mind and you get nothing.
So
All right.
what,
You get active resistance.
while that's going on, I pull up Lightbringer. Do you read?
I read. I see you.
Excellent. Do I notice a person talking into their
Yeah,
wrist
yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
still far enough away that you don't hear like the ambient echo of like your voice coming from there. But yeah, you see
Gotcha.
her pull her pull it up and speak into her watch. So yeah.
All right. So I'm all this way, run over, meet her halfway in the alleyway, hand you your suit and your armor.
So I'll put that on real quick.
Is everybody giving her modesty?
Yes, and I will see. There's no guarantee here, but I'll see if I can generate like 5 or 6 duplicates to surround her and face away.
Wow, nice. Okay.
I mean, it's not really necessary, but okay.
Yeah, so you don't need a power. It's not a power stunt for you. So yeah, you could. So he just generates several versions of himself and makes kind of a small wall for you, and they all march about face and look the other way.
That's very kind of you.
If I would have heard this in my head, I'd be thinking to myself, I'm a silver blob, and I really don't care about the human anatomy. And you're my sister. Ew. Well,
Yeah.
half sister.
So while I'm changing, I'll mention that she went inside the building. I still couldn't figure out what building it is. Police fire is doing nothing. I'll just tell them what other observations I made while I was.
Well, you as I said when you first came up, you saw that she fired some plasma. So she has heat and plasma base, or I should say not heat, but fire and plasma based powers.
Yeah, I'll mention that.
Okay.
I'll try to run damage control.
You can hear some sirens and another explosion at this point.
Let's go.
All right. I will work on generating clones in order to see if we can scout within the building. At the same time, Lightbringer, will you be able to make yourself invisible, or can you only change your appearance?
I can be invisible.
Do that and see if you can enter the building stealthily. We need to try to stop her. We don't know what her physical resilience is, but we need to at least subdue her in some fashion. Which means
I can
Angler.
put her to sleep.
Exactly. You should be well protected, it seems, from your concussive force. Perhaps you can draw fire and see if you can put her to sleep. If not, we'll need to hit her with what we have.
Well, bravery is a thing that I learned. When we hit that intersection, you guys drop off, and I'll go into. You said that she created a hole in the building, right?
Yes, the very front of the building is like slagged open.
Drop off in the middle of the intersection, and I'll go straight in.
Excellent. Ixion, I need you to determine if there's been any casualties or any other civilians nearby that need protection. You need to guide them away if possible.
Duly noted. Let me know if you see any structural damage that needs reinforcement that I could possibly aid with resolidifying any metal parts.
Excellent. Let's head out.
He'll hold out his arms so people can grab on.
Right in the
And-
Angler Express.
Yep.
I look at him like, what is this?
We're going
By the
to
way,
we're gonna run in there like the Kool-Aid Man.
Okay.
Speaking of which, is the Kool-Aid Man the pitcher or the fluid? Things to think about.
And then he'll
things that make you go,
there's so many jokes there that are just inappropriate. And before I get down a train of thought,
So you
he'll-
get up into the air and rocket, and
And
you whip around the corner with them. Now, are you dropping them off in front, or like
in the middle of the
in the
intersection.
middle of? Okay, that's fine.
And then he's going to keep going into the building.
Okay, so you just kind of let them go and then go on in. So we'll deal with that. You fly right down the street. Again, it's not terribly far, so you don't have to accelerate. You have to top speed. Releasing them as the three of them fall down, and you make a semicircle and dart straight into the front of the building. As he drops you off in the middle of the intersection, you can see that there's a big six-wheeled vehicle here. One of those armored hoplite vehicles that you guys saw before. That has ambient, lights on, and you see several officers of hoplite, which they think, even though this is like 94, think high-tech, almost RoboCop style officers. Not RoboCop himself, but like more SWAT, but like armored, heavier weapons, sort of look. And they have two units with them that are actually suited up in a sort of almost Tony Stark, Iron Man uniform sort of look. Bulkier though, not as not quite as lean and clean and high tech looking.
Almost
And-
like power armor or whatever.
Yes.
Mark 1.
Yeah, there you go. A little bit more fashionable, but yeah, the very first one. So because he wasn't really looking when he did the turn, so he drops you off like almost right in front of him, and then bolts on the inside. And one of the officers turn as they've all got their weapons. They're like, "Who the hell are you?"
We're here to
Yeah.
help.
We are legacy.
Since nobody has any real popularity, and you first said it, Dale, why don't you go ahead and give me a roll against your popularity?
Oh, boy.
Better him than me.
which at this point is like a 2 because nobody really knows you guys as heroes.
11.
All right.
If I said my name, they may recognize me because remember I was in we were on TV and they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I am Ixion."
But your name's not Ixion anymore.
I'm a silver blob for crying out loud. I'm not exactly disguised. I just have a uniform on, and I still have a nondescript silver face.
So, yeah, they just look at you and just like, and that's supposed to mean what, buddy? You're in the way at this point, and whatever your friend just did is going to get himself killed. We can't be responsible for this. Back up, get behind the police line.
You need not be responsible for us.
I'm gonna go inside the building after Freddy.
Okay. So, Derek, why don't you go ahead and give it one more roll?
One more roll?
Yep,
I didn't roll in the first place.
I know.
Oh. 64.
64. All right. Well, let's see. Literally just barely. So there's like, and so the guy like turns the other. He's like, "All right, let these super chumps go do what they're gonna do. We'll have to deal with the fallout later." So he's just like, you flank out over here, get it off to the left, make sure she doesn't get out. I need eyes in the sky. And they're ordering their own people around. So you 4 at this point break. Angler, you dive in with your rocket. So remember how I said your agility is down?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need to make your agility check.
Come on, Toxics. You've been good to me today. Ha-ha! 95.
Okay.
Rocket attack robots.
So you come flying in there, and if you don't come to an abrupt stop, you're going to start crashing through the insides.
Yeah.
Is that the intention?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so you rocket in while they're on the outside right now. You come to a complete stop in what was the main foyer to the inside of this building. The security desk is like fragged. There's fire breaking out downstairs here. Thankfully, not terribly much. Most of it is more molten than anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that the elevator shaft has been severely damaged as well, and there is a hole in one of the elevator shafts.
There's a what?
Can
Oh.
I recognize what this building is for?
It is a regular human business building.
Owned by Jackie Daytona.
Yes, owned by Jackie Daytona from Tucson, Arizona.
So there's nothing that identifies the name of the business?
You can take a look if you want to take a moment.
Yeah, this shouldn't take long. Just take a look around
Sure.
for anything. And there we go. That's what I was expecting. 6.
So you take a moment real quick. You're like, okay, I'm on the inside. There's probably some sort of corporate logo. You're like looking around. All you're seeing is like damaged chairs and the signs that they post right by the elevator that tell you like what's on what floor. Like that's all jacked up and the plastic numbers are everywhere. And it's just not your day.
He's going down the shaft.
So you're just going to drop down or rocket down?
How far is it going is a better question.
Okay, so then you pause and take a look. So the basically the entrance to the shaft at this point is fragged, so you don't have anything to hold on to. It's been superheated with plasma, and it's like melting all over the place. It goes down far enough that it is dark.
Then yes, he's going to jump down, and then as he's falling, he's going to kick on the rocket.
Okay, that will do.
Hey,
all right.
we want to avoid extra collateral damage, so
Yes.
we're avoiding for collateral damage.
Good job. So, Brittany, you get inside just as you see Angler. Looks like he may have been looking for something, and he sees a hole in the in one of the elevator shafts and just jumps in.
Well, I don't think I want to go down that way, but maybe I can find some stairs. Can I? But I would think that, like, obviously following the damage, we would find her. So I would peek in the shaft first and see, like, about how many stories down she went.
Oh, okay. So you run up there. So you guys end up seeing she's maybe 30, 40 feet in front of you as you guys both come running in through the entrance. And of course, same description. The foyer is largely open, but there's a lot of chaos in here, like upended chairs, stuff burning from, molten metal and whatnot. Looks like your typical, like a corporate foyer at one point in time, but it's hard to tell just what's here because there's a lot of damage down here. And you see Lightbringer kind of look and check. Lightbringer, you see nothing but... Actually, before you do, give me an intuition check.
While we're walking in, I mean, if it's just like a flaming office chair, it's not really going to be any major damage other than the chair. Like, unless it's the potential is there for a fire to spread. But I would think in a foyer, it's probably like tile floor or something like that. So if somebody lit a chair on fire, it's just going to melt, cause a mess, but nothing crazy. But I'm looking at structural steel and any walls that may be on fire. And if it's the structural steel, I'm not going to flash freeze it, but I will slowly cool it to where it doesn't crack and it will solidify. And anything else that, if there's like a chair right next to the wall,
You're
put it
attempting
out.
to negate the ambient heat.
Yes.
Okay, not a problem. So I'll get to you in just a second. Brittany, why don't you give me your intuition check?
67
67.
on incredible.
Oh, good job. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you get up there real quick and you go to look down, in the back of your mind, there's that oh, you know what? You have danger sense.
I do have danger sense.
You do.
It's not very good.
In the back of your mind, this is what happens to the coyote when he looks into things that he's not supposed to look into at the right. And just as you back up, like you got that warning, that Looney Tune warning, rocketing just whoosh comes flying up and out of the elevator shaft, probably from your friend the Angler, whose rocket blast is amplified in confined spaces.
Oh.
But you, again, it's your psychic thing, and it kicked in at the right moment. You went, no, I'm done with that noise, and you don't have to like jump or anything, but you got far enough away that all that really happened is it mussed your hair.
Well, that was lucky.
Give me an agility check, Angler.
Alrighty then. 57.
57. All right.
I know it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah. Okay. So,
because now I'm at a good instead of
yes,
remarkable.
So, as you end up hearing that blast, because you guys can see this, Derek, at this point, you don't really see it. You're looking more for damage containment, but you hear this. You guys end up hearing that blast, and then this up against the sides of the shaft as something is rocketing its way down, slamming into the walls left and right, just almost spiral like
pinballing,
like somebody launched a non-explosive rocket down a shaft And so it's just hitting and ricocheting and like falling horribly. Which sends you unceremoniously down to the ground completely. Give me just a power check against your rocket.
That is a 76.
Okay. So it doesn't extinguish, not like, causes you to harm yourself or anything. So you end up landing on the ground very hard at the bottom of the shaft, or I should say at the bottom of what the elevator used to be here. You can see that there is some light coming from some holes in the elevator itself, partly because you made them from impacting so hard against the elevator itself. So there's clearly something down there.
Did it give us the dossier? Did not have her real name, did it?
No, yeah, it did not.
I destroyed the elevator, didn't I?
Oh, you sent it to an early grave.
I think I'm gonna take the stairs.
3 hours later.
Suddenly the
You'll
game
get
turns
up.
into Ghostbusters. Okay, let me know. When we get to the 7th floor, I'm going to throw up.
Rough, yeah.
He'll start taking a look around into the room, seeing if he can see the person first.
Okay, so I'll take care of that in just a second. Derek, give me an intuition check as you start kind of investigating the ambient damage.
Ooh, 87.
All right.
One moment, guys.
You're fairly certain that the inside of this foyer is okay, even given the damage that you see. However, the extensive damage that was done to the front, it will collapse if you don't find some way to reinforce it.
How hot is it outside?
It's a hot summer day.
Okay. It would still take quite some time
Mhm.
to melt a gigantic block of ice.
Yep.
So I form a pillar in the center to reinforce, as large as I reasonably can and as dense as I reasonably can to
With the ambient
help
moisture.
support.
Go ahead and give a power check roll.
Come on, let's roll high again. 72.
All right, that is good enough. So you draw on the ambient water that's in the area. It's difficult at first because of the heat, but you start with your unrelenting draw. You start pulling that water in, and you start seeing like you get an initial like pull made of ice, then you just start like caking it on and making it thicker and larger, as you go from there and reinforcing it, and at the same time starting to chill the molten metal from the security doors that were blasted open.
Back.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. First, scanning around to see if there are any just civilians, if anybody's trapped under debris or anything like that.
Great. You don't see anything down here. There's no telling what's on the upper floors, but doesn't seem to be anything down here.
Okay. Let's see. Then, yeah, in that case, are there any like stairwells or staircases that like can be used?
There are. Yep. It's a typical office building.
Okay. I go in there, and by this time, I've already dispersed like the previous modesty copies for Brittany's character. So,
Oh yeah.
well, they're gone. They're not just standing there in the alleyway. So I'm gonna generate like 5 more copies and have them just kind of float up kind of through, because they're intangible. They can just like go through things typically.
Okay.
I'm going to have them kind of float, and each one is going to like take a floor, and they're just going to move around scanning for like survivors, if anybody's injured, anything like that.
Okay. That level of processing is absolutely possible for someone like you and your higher intellect. However, you will have to stop and focus to do so.
Okay. That's fine. Since we got 2 on the job for her, and we've got Ixion fixing things, I'll work on damage control.
All right. All right. So go ahead and give me a psyche check as you are, because you've already generated them. That's not going to be a problem. This is just you controlling them and getting them to go where they need to go.
88.
Okay. Everything is responding exactly the way you were wanting. So the next roll will be per floor. I'm going to have you roll 8 times to check each of the floors as they are floating up and getting in position.
Gotcha. Okay.
Brittany,
So
you can hear that slap down there as he came unceremoniously down to the ground. You are looking. There are stairs that go down, but the degree that it goes down, the stairs may not go down that far.
I'm gonna try and use telepathy again.
Okay.
And see if I can reach her mind, just to see what the heck is going on.
I'll allow it, but you're going to need a good roll. She's not familiar to you, but you did see her and attempt it once before.
32.
Okay, not sufficient.
All right, I'm just gonna go down the stairs as far as I can, and then try and find them from whatever floor that ends up on.
Okay, so you're taking the stairs down. The stairs themselves go down 2 flights to a parking structure.
Okay. Can I get to the elevator from there?
Not the elevator, no.
I mean the elevator shaft.
If you had to take a guess, yeah, but it's behind several layers of cement and whatnot.
Okay, well, I guess that's not going to work. And so, okay, how many elevators were there in this?
Great
office?
question. There are a total of 8. Only 1 was focused on.
Is power out?
Power is not out.
I'm going to find another elevator.
Okay. So you're running back up to go find another elevator at this point. Justin. So
Yes, sir.
You peel away the damaged top of this elevator without any problem whatsoever. You don't see anything in the elevator. It looks like it went to the whatever bottom it did. And in fact, your impact caused it to go down a little bit further. And it's not sitting level, like it should.
Is the elevator doors open?
Yes.
Do I hear anything? Someone throw
give
in
me an intuition check.
All right. 65.
Okay. It's taking you a moment to get the ringing out of your ear, but you think you hear down below. You think you hear more commotion.
Even further below me?
Yeah, even further below. Like maybe whatever she did, somebody may have taken the elevator down. She captured them, and something's going on down there. But this actually went much further, the drop, than, now that you've had a chance to look, than it looks like was probably originally designed.
Oh, I do not want to do that again. When I look inside this floor, do I see any holes built into burned into the floor, anything like that?
Great observation. Yes, you do.
I'm taking her holes down. That seems to be the easier path here because
okay.
I don't know if she has rocket powers or any type of flight, but more than likely, she at least has a way of safely going down.
She has flight. They informed us of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just so that then what you end up doing is you push through the hole that is in the that you made in the elevator. When you get into the elevator, you can tell that there were security doors that this elevator went down to that are fragged, much like the doors that you saw topside.
All right. Talk her out of whatever the hell she's doing. I can do this. I'm gonna look in the doors.
The hallway, this down here, it's very sterile and bleak looking. Think, and I don't want to draw the visual here because of the horror aspect, but just because of the bleakness. Think the original Resident Evil.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, when she just
Yeah.
these empty, hollow, sterile hallways and whatnot that probably meant something at one point in time, and
Like
they
an
just
abandoned hospital.
that kind of feel. Yeah.
I was imagining white everywhere.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Yes, some of the lights down here are out. Not a whole lot of damage down the hallway. It's hotter, but there's not a whole lot of damage down in the hallway itself. The hallway goes down and it goes to a T intersection. There are two what appear to be offices down here, but the offices have what appear to be like security padlocks on them. So it doesn't look like they the two offices that were down here on this one particular floor were in use at any point in time. However, you don't know from the intersection where she went.
I'm in some type of underground facility. Can anyone read me? He tries to calm.
The communicator? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a check real quick. Hold on a second. Yeah, you're picking up static.
Telepathy.
Okay. Who are you trying to reach?
I knew that Lightbringer was supposed to be following behind me.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 53.
53. Okay. I know what you have, Lightbringer. Oh, Lightbringer. You feel a presence in your mind. And at this point, you're like getting back up to the main floor right about now.
We've got an underground facility here.
So it's a familiar voice, at least.
What do you
I am at a T intersection right now.
What do you see? Oh, a T. Can you hear anything?
Can I hear anything?
Echoing, yes.
Echoes, nothing more.
Somebody screaming right now, and somebody very loud and angry.
I can't focus on it too well. It's somewhere under here, and it's echoing through the hallways.
What floor are you on?
I have no idea. The elevator was recommissioned, and there was additions made down here from the looks of it. This might be off the books.
Okay, so while you were deciding that, and she's determining her course of action.
By the way, this is coming from his military way of thinking. Because how many times has money just gone missing in the military and it turned up in some other operation?
Yep, money appropriations.
Oh.
Yeah.
Earmarked for cow flatulence.
So just saying the way he came to that conclusion.
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
It makes perfect sense.
Yep. Dale, give me some intuition checks.
Yeah, so did those. Okay, so you said do 8 of them, right?
Yes.
Okay. First one was a 1.
Okay.
Let's see here. Second one, 69.
Okay.
All ones.
Then
All
an
right.
18. Yeah. So again, the third one was 18. Next one was 66. We've got 13, 29, 3, and 45.
Okay.
Suffice it to say, I'm using normal dice from now on.
Okay. So this was a bit of a stretch for you. It was smart, but clearly it's something you're going to have to put. There's some design flaws in what it is you're trying. That, like, what's going in your mind. You're like, okay, I had the right idea. I apparently don't have the right processing power to do so, which is why you missed some of the ones that you had. The floors that were positive, which were, I think you got 3 of them that were pretty high, you do not find anybody.
Okay. All right.
And in fact, on those floors, you're not finding any office equipment either.
Okay. Is there anything, or is it just a completely barren floor?
There's stuff there, like, there's a desk, there's a chair, and there's like filing cabinets and whatnot, but there's no no connected phones, no people, no stacks of paperwork, nothing like that.
What day? What day of the week is it?
We'll say it's Thursday.
Okay, and it's daytime.
It is day, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's not right. Business hours. All right. I try to reach, because I haven't received anything technically. So I try to reach Angler. Angler, do you read?
You get static.
Right.
Derek, give me another intuition check.
29.
29. Okay. I don't know if that's going to get enough. Take a look.
Probably not.
Let's see. New. Okay. That's okay. So
I was focusing on finalizing my
yes.
magnificent.
So at this
Indian
point,
ice
the
form.
only thing that you focus on or you pick up on the fact is that Angler is not following up. You get no reply back on the comm. You can hear Hyperion trying to reach him, and it's not coming through. But you also hear that too, Brittany.
I'm gonna.
Have I noticed offhand that my metallic nature, does it enhance, or do I act like almost like an antenna?
No.
For our radio, is that all?
No.
Okay. Darn.
No. You need the foil insert, and to be formed into rabbit ears.
I could do that.
Preferably on a wire hanger.
Yes, exactly.
I could do that. Make it all bunch it up.
So I'm going to respond on the comms and explain that Angler reached out to me telepathically. He's in some sort of underground facility that goes lower than the elevator, and that he hasn't found anyone yet.
Understood. Are you able to physically reach him from where you're at?
Not yet. I'm going to a different elevator to see how far I can get down.
Understood. Ixion, your status.
Completing the column for resupport of the building, and I am en route to the elevator shaft.
Excellent. We should all converge on Angler's location as quickly as possible. I'm not locating any other individuals in higher floors, but this building is strangely vacant. This doesn't make sense. We need to proceed with caution.
A facade.
Possibly.
Copy that.
And with that, I then see if I can, like at the main elevator shaft, with my strength, would I be able to just like climb down more or less, like holding on to like parts of the elevator shaft?
You absolutely could, or you could stick a superhero landing.
With my
But doing that-
rolls,
But doing that, he could pick up the other two on the way down.
with my rolls, I don't know. You know what? I'll try this. How can I tell how deep it is? Is it possible?
Do you have any vision-based powers?
No. Well, I can take one of my
You
since
drop
my
something down there and then listen to how long it takes to hit the bottom.
I can drop one of my copies down there. I'll take ones that
Mhm.
like
There
aren't
you go.
useful now, and I have it float down there to get a lay of the land.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, that works.
That's
I was
perfect.
thinking like rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's gonna
it-
drop himself down.
it goes down another like 3 floors. So it's like you have, two that looks like they were probably normal. It goes down further that looks like there was modifications made to the elevator shaft, and then it ends up going down like 3 more stories.
Okay. Then I have the rest of the ones I currently have generated, like at points along the elevator shaft to like help me with figuring out how to land as I'm falling down there. Then I go ahead and do the jump, see if I can stick the hero landing.
Stick the hero landing. All right. Give me an agility check.
52.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, agility's not my strong suit.
Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. You said 52?
Yeah. I did have, I don't know if like
Oh,
having my
no.
guys there helps.
Okay,
whatever.
so you end up falling. It's not graceful. It's not like, it's not like Gina Carano from Deadpool. Sort of look, there's a bit of a stumble to it.
Perfectly. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you probably because you have to go straight through the elevator, so it broke up part of your fall. But you descend like all the way down, break completely through the top of the elevator, and stick the landing like on the inside of the bottom of the elevator with loud crash.
Nice.
Angler, you definitely hear that. Well, I should say you hear the destruction coming.
Can someone hear me now?
No,
Can I hear him at this point since I'm on the same
physically,
level?
yes.
Okay. I yell out, I can hear you. It's Hyperion. I'm making my way to you.
Good.
And I do so.
Yeah, he's just down the hallway, like right about where the offices were. He hadn't gone much further. So we've got 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs. The 2 that are upstairs, what are you guys doing?
Trying to
Try.
get the elevator down.
Do I know? Can I grab a hold of the one of the cables with my physical makeup without harming myself and just slide down? Because I would be able to like almost like fluidly roll some of my new
No,
in, if you will, to where I wouldn't.
No, not like that, because that would damage the costume. However, you could phase down. Because the phasing is like liquid.
Okay.
So basically, you grab a hold of it and then.
Yeah. Can she hold on to me while I'm doing that?
No.
Okay. Not even to the uniform?
No, because the uniform is turning to puddle at this point.
Oh, it merges with me?
Oh, you're basically wet laundry falling down the shaft at this point, if that helps. It's very unceremonious, but it's getting you down there really quick. So, I mean, by the time, Hyperion's like looking around and he's got there, you hear just,
Splat.
yeah, just literally like a splat sound. And
Like
Ixion slowly starting to reform himself in the costume, like, coming back together and whatnot. Brittany, you get to the elevator, and you've actually checked them all. They only go down to the parking level.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
Special elevator.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna figure out a way down the shaft.
What type of light powers do you have again?
UV.
UV.
Oh, so you can't make constructs out of it.
No.
Jubilee.
Oh
My,
no, I was gonna say make a big slide going all the way down. Then she can stick her hands up in the air like she just don't care.
Yeah. Green Lantern or Quasar, she is not.
Okay. That answers the question.
However, if it's only like 3 floors,
No, it's 5 total.
5 total. Okay, whatever.
Which averages is somewhere between 13 and 15 feet per floor.
I
Standard building height.
can try and climb. My agility's decent.
Unless there's something where you could rapidly fashion like a rope or cords you can use
Yeah,
time together.
is there anything that I can
Well, let's take a look.
construct?
Give me an intuition check as you rummage on the top floor. Those of you who are downstairs, what are you doing at this point?
So I make my way to
Um,
Angler, obviously. Make sure I meet him there.
I'm
yeah, he's
waiting
just in
for
the
them.
hallway. Okay.
Making my way to them after reconfiguring myself after
Give
my
me
splat.
give me an endurance check.
Me?
Yes.
72.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're reforming right now.
I'm an MN 63.
So Brittany, what'd you get?
27.
27.
Can I use reason instead for something?
She
Well,
did
what
hear
was to
me
look
fall
for?
down.
For reason.
If I were to build something or like use science or math.
Science.
I did probably
Nice
create some
science, my way
footholds going down, slamming into the walls.
Good question. Why don't you go ahead and give me a reason? You're gonna have to get a pretty good roll, but you're gonna try and science your way out of this one. I'll allow that. We'll see if you can calculate something.
64.
What's your reason? I know it's pretty high.
It's amazing.
And you said 64?
We know it's amazing, but what is it?
Such a
64.
braggart, jeez. No.
I know. Aw, lucky.
64.
Yeah, so
It's in the yellow.
yeah, real good. Okay. If you successfully make a power stunt, perhaps you could blast your way down and cushion yourself with a laser blast. You've always wanted to fly.
No, that is true. That is true. What does it take to make a stunt?
100 karma.
Oh, that's it? Like I don't have to roll?
Well, you do have to make the roll. You have to score a red result. But it's 100 karma to start the power stunt.
I'm just gonna guess that's probably not gonna happen. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because what's your skill with your laser?
My my radiation emission
Yeah.
is incredible.
You'd have to roll a 95 or better.
At an incredible, it's a 91 or better, but splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, that's unlikely.
Or better. Okay, let's look at it. Remarkable. Sorry.
Would they likely
10% chance.
would they likely have any exterior exits?
Oh, you mean from wherever they're at?
Like to get like is the only entrance and exit to this facility the one elevator shaft?
Likely not. This likely was the most common one, but if you're making this sort of facility, you would reason that they probably had some other emergency bolt hole or something to get out in case of an emergency.
Based on my familiarity with this kind of building,
Okay.
could I maybe try and figure out from like I mean, I wouldn't be able to find blueprints, but could I maybe try? I could maybe try following. I don't know, like taking an air shaft or like following some kind of pipelines to figure out where um, where another exit might be, or if I can follow. I don't know if air shaft is just like
So you could that's possible.
is that a
However,
TV thing or is that a real thing?
no, that I mean that I mean again that would take some pretty good rolls because you're
That's a
follow,
little.
but it's possible. Um, in a rush, not so much, but you're pretty nimble. If you timed the drop just right, you might be able to use the niches from the ping pong effect to get down there to basically spring your way down without harming yourself too much.
Yeah, I want to try that.
Yes, Jackie Chan it.
And I
Just
have
basically in reverse. Instead of going up, she's going down.
Yeah.
+1 column shift for acrobatics.
Yes, you do.
Nice.
So that goes to incredible. Come on, roll good. 82.
Oh, so you're like trying to get over yourself because again, this is all new. And finally, just like in the back of your voice, your back of your mind, you're like, 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, go, go, go. And you just like throw yourself off and then psh, 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 and just, either like using your hands or your legs, you don't want to duplicate that because that was kind of scary, but you pulled it off. Like a part of you wishes there was a camera in this elevator shaft, like, or you made the news because that was pretty cool.
I'm not going to figure out how to get out just yet.
Yeah,
That's future Carmen's problem.
right. Future Carmen, yeah.
So all of you are down here in the hallway. The sounds have stopped as everybody has waited for the group to gather.
Can I try rolling empathy to see if I can pick up on anything?
Ooh, yes, you can.
I mean, my score is not very good. We'll see what happens.
Well, it is emotion detection. It's based on your psyche.
I rolled a 99.
Woohoo.
Oh.
Nice.
So normally in those circumstances, it would be like everybody within like that, mile radius, just like you just feel them. And you feel their pain and their angst and their joy. And no, but yeah, you are able to narrow it down to like a hair and zoom in on this. Maybe it's the rush of that whole drop going exactly the way you wanted it. You're just like, I've got this, I'm a hero, and you focus, and it's
He's in the zone.
Yeah, you're in the zone. It's to your right. You pick up strong anger and intensity coming from the right.
Can I tell like how many people
Yes.
there are in there?
Well, you're only picking up the emotion from one person.
Okay. Then I'll head forward and indicate which direction.
Do you know how many are there?
I only sense the one.
Angler, be ready with your artifact.
He never said where the
X99.
power came from. He has never indicated where that power comes from.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
You mentioned that you have a magical artifact.
Yes, he's also mentioned he's been experimented on as well.
Okay. All right. Then
Well,
instead
your
of
power.
instead I say ready your power. Ixion and I will head up the rear in case she tries to flee.
Everybody proceeds.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are hustling now at this point, and you take a turn to your right. Again, more hallways, some little bit of office space, but again, it's that sparse, abandoned hospital sort of look. And as you take a glance in some of the rooms that are just adjacent from this hallway, you can see that there were beds with like gurneys. There's they're not laboratory equipment, but like some medical equipment down here for monitoring vitals and whatnot.
Was there, because of my background being a geneticist,
Mhm.
is this the stuff that I would use?
Give me an intuition check. You need a red result because you guys are on the move and you're trying to quickly analyze it.
Come on.
Does this look
That's
familiar?
99.
If
I looked at the one, it was a 9. I looked at the other one, I was like,
your best guess, is this with the medical equipment you're seeing here is likely primarily for life support.
okay.
But there's no reason for a hospital to be down here.
Right.
So it would indicate there's something more. There's something more down here that must be tied to
but
this.
my thought process was also like, are they experimenting on these people?
They could very well, yes.
Because there would be some of those tools that I would use, but in different manners.
Right.
You know.
You don't see anything like that in there, but it stands to reason, given the fact that there, you see like life support and whatnot, and this is not a hospital. At least not supposed to be, anyways.
Right.
That there's a high degree of probability that that's what was happening down here.
This is like one of those medical facilities from Deadpool, quite possibly.
What I was asking is, does this look familiar to me?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
No, not at all.
It's like the basement place like Deadpool was in.
Yeah, it's not nowhere near as crappy like that.
Right, but similar in theory anyway.
But nothing down here is currently in use. You guys pull forward through a set of double doors at the end of this juncture, and it's just kind of a more of a wide kind of open air room down here. There are a couple computer banks. Some of them are older looking, like they even have the tape, spots for it that would relay computer information and whatnot. So it's semi outdated. You can see that there is a man down here that looks like he's been beat 6 ways till Sunday. Hard to tell if he's still alive or not. You can see Blood Goblin at the other end, in the process trying to access what appears to be a vault, clear at the other end of the room.
So like she beat this guy to a pulp?
They're the only two down here, so probably.
Right. What's he wearing?
He's wearing your typical scientist fare. So he has an overcoat. He has a nice suit underneath it, or I should say not a nice suit, but like a nice shirt, pants, shoes.
Ixion, can you tend to his wounds?
And Nighty Night.
I can.
Excellent.
Who are you putting out?
I'm putting her out.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
That is going to be a 90 on Amazing 46.
All right.
Ooh.
So you activate the spell within your gem, pearl or whatever it was. No, we said it was a gem,
Yeah.
right?
Pearl.
Pearl. Okay. So you activate that little power that you have, and you can feel the arcane energy kind of radiate from you like you normally would. And then there's a pause at the other end of the room, and she turns around and looks and sees you guys, and her powers start to flare up. And that's where
That's
we'll
a
pause for
first.
tonight.
Dun-dun.
Derek, do you have healing ability? Or just
No, but I'm a biologist. I don't
Okay.
have a healing ability,
I have emergency medicine,
Hmm.
but
Oh.
not technically healing. So I mean, I guess I could do first aid.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That is literally what it is. Okay, so we're going ahead and pausing there for right now. Ran a little bit over, but wow. For your guys' first outing as a team, I'm really impressed. You guys did really good.
So
Yeah.
far, we're at minimal property damage.
I like it when I'm not in charge. Good job.
Yeah.
Well, there's only the one game that you're in charge.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, okay.
I like to not have to be in charge.
I
All
like
right.
not having to be like I'm able to take a hit, but I'm not the forefront.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the
Not the tank.
I'm not the tank by any means. I might be armored like one, but as far as like hitting like one, I'm like
It's like getting in a punching match with the Hulk, and the Hulk just turning and going, "Stop!" It's like, did you just limp wrist me? You can level a building. Stop!
the Hulk? It's the Hulk. Like he's like, oh look, Wendy's Frosty.
All right. So that will put our next game at the 21st.
A couple days after my birthday.
I will be out of town.
Oh, you have a birthday this month?
Yeah, August 19th.
Oh, well, we got to do birthday karma too. So then I'll go ahead and give you guys an additional 100 karma for
Ooh.
birthdays. So
Yay.
add that there too.
Cool.
Okay, and
And we still kept we didn't donate our 25, did we? So we're still going like
yeah, everybody's
100
individual right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100,
Right.
100 each. Yeah.
okay. Because I still had that 25 set aside, so like separated because we didn't come to
Yeah,
a conclusion.
nobody's combined for a karma pool as of yet. Okay, well, so we'll go ahead and pause there. Brittany, you may or may not be there for the 21st. Is that what I understood?
So, yeah, it depends on what our accommodations are. I'm guessing I probably won't be able to on the Saturday.
Okay.
We'll be in Wyoming at that point, and I think the plan is to camp in tents in my grandpa's yard.
Gotcha.
But
And unless something super amazing happens to me, I'll be here.
I may be able to use the internet in the house. We'll see. So I got to remember to bring my laptop and stuff. So
Okay. So
we'll see.
We'll play that one by ear.
So 2 weeks ago,
I'll keep you
are we
posted.
off the air now?
No.
Oh.
Not
You're
as
gonna
yet.
tell us all your
I
secrets.
was
I was in a cult.
in a commercial.
What?
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Since we were broadcast, I can't really publicly divulge.
Oh,
much.
well, yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and end there so we can get the dish.
It was cool.
Or
Yeah,
get the scoop. So, yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys. Davy Jones, thanks for tuning in again. And again, we will be playing Vampire on the 20th. So tune in for that. So take it easy, guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, shoot.